So I thought I'd try something a bit new. This is a confessions video. So just things that come up in my head. The first one is, I remember in high school, a lot of these are going to be from high school. There was this girl that everybody sort of liked to look at. We'll call her Gail. She had a very thin body and a big set of tits. Every time me and my friends seen her, we would shout, "Pale Ale!" into like a chant. Because it rhymed with Gail, which isn't her name. And one day, after months of sort of like her, she's grown into a woman in high school, and she knows people are looking at her. She's one of the quiet girls. She wasn't popular or anything like that, but she became popular, but not in the social sense. It's just like everyone had an eye on her. And me and my two friends are walking home from school one day, and she's coming along the path, and I've stopped at the bus stop. Sometimes my friends would wait with me until my bus came. I lived a bit further away. She's walking by, and just as she's passed us, I shout after her, "Gail!" She looks over, she looks at me. "We would all have sex with you." That's what I say. We would all have sex with you. So, that's fucking awkward, right? In the middle of the path. There's like people around and that. It's like, what is she supposed to respond? I thought like, it would have given her, like, I wanted her to know that she got it. I thought that's what I was doing. I was like informing her that, we've all known you for these years. And at this point, I think the consensus is we would all sleep with you. And it wasn't supposed to be rapey. It wasn't supposed to be like now. It wasn't. It was an open invitation. It wasn't like we're gonna get down here. Anyway, that stuck with me all those years. My friends were mortified. Like, I've roped them into this thing. They had no idea I was gonna say this. And so I feel sorry for that. The two friends that were with me, it might have been three. I think it was Damon and Lee, maybe Mark. So that's story number one. I did speak to Gail once more after that, and it was on a night out, and we walked home together. And I was too scared to make a move. I think she was with her friend, Sam. And so, I think Sam was doing the thing where she's like, "Didn't go with him, like, come with me." She was sort of like not letting her friend go with a dude that night, I think. I sensed that, so I didn't even properly try. Although I was heavy flirting with her. Okay, what is story number two? Confession number two. Confession number two. Okay. I had a girlfriend when I was 16. She was the girl I lost my virginity to. Actually, there should be evidence of this. So I knew my girlfriend's password for Facebook. Facebook was the social media thing back then. I didn't hack it. I didn't snoop around for it. She just told me it one day. She was that sort of person. "Here's my password," as if you're supposed to give yours to her after that. It was that sort of thing. I didn't give mine to her. So I done the same thing. Like, I told my friends, by the way, our passwords, I think it was geckos. The password was geckos, with plural. So I didn't hack into her Facebook or anything like that. Just one day I openly stated the password. This came back to bite me in the future. When so she cheated on me with my best friend at the time, Scott Campbell. And that was pretty hard for me to deal with. It was on his birthday. We were all at his birthday party out in the woods, camping. and he challenged me to a competition. So I'm 16, he's 18. So there's a difference in body and all that stuff, right? So the challenge was, let's see who can do as many Pro Plus tablets as possible. I'm doing strips of them. I think I've done 24. So I wasn't that familiar with caffeine at the time. So for anybody like interested, that's like 1200 milligrams. I think the daily recommended is 400, and that's for people who are on it every day. So, needless to say, he didn't do as many as me. I don't think I won the competition, but I ended up like near enough dying. No one helped. So I couldn't go back home. We'd lied to be at this birthday party. I'm only 16. I'm staying out all night in the woods. Like, there's alcohol and things involved. So I'd had a couple drinks. And while I'm sort of like dealing with poisoning, like my stomach's turning. I'm sweating all over. It feels like I'm dying. And I'm sort of just horrible cramps as well. The pain is awful. And they're away snuggled up at the top of a hill somewhere, and she comes back wearing his shirt, you know, that sort of deal. So he's only got one shirt. We ended up walking for miles. We're staying awake all throughout the night. It was so hard to get to McDonald's in Livingston from Deckmont Woods, so it's a couple miles. They opened up super early, and we jumped in for some warmth. And I'm in the toilet. I'm throwing up. I'm dry heaving. I'm just lying about. The staff are asking me if I'm okay. And after about 8 a.m. comes around, we walk to my house. Everyone was to stay at my house. My girlfriend, my best friend. Oh shit. And they left me downstairs in my room. So my girlfriend would usually like share my room and stuff, but they ended up sharing my brother's bed upstairs. And after that, she broke up with me. Without saying. She just started hanging out with him. And then at a party in the future, like a month later, I'm at Rob's house, Rob Hutchison, and there's a big party going on, and him and her are there. So she's from a different town, but she started knowing all of my friends. So it got very awkward, and at this party, I'm feeling awful about Scott. I'm like, I care less about her. I care more about what the fuck he's just done to me. And so I decide that night, I'm like, this bitch, right? She doesn't care about the dudes. She cares about the fight. She's in it for the drama. She wants the attention. She wants to be the prize. So I'll make it my goal that night to win her back. It took 10 minutes. And me and her were out on the trampoline, snuggling up. You know, like, sharing tongues. She got her hands down my trousers and that. And he ends up seeing it. He wants to fight me. Everyone's in a big crowd. I'm in the corner of the room. He's coming up to me. He's wanting to fucking get me. Everyone's like jumps in the middle. I say I don't want to fight. I say hit me if you want. Go for it. Like everybody that's there understood what happened the previous month. So they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Scott? Bro. That's what happens, mate. And so, after winning her back, I dumped her. I dumped her the next day. Because fuck that shit, you know? Fuck that shit. Me and him did not become friends again for a long time. I think it took us a while to sort of get past that. But we came to the understanding that she played both of us. So, getting back to the password stuff, right? So my friend Damon's got her Facebook password. And he's not happy about what she's done to me. Like, I care more about what Scott's done. But as my friend, he feels like he needs to protect me or, like, fire back for me or something like that. I was against it. So he starts logging into her Facebook. He's going for her messages and stuff like that. And he finds out she's chatting to all these guys and they're sending her all these pictures, nudies, like topless pictures and that. You're talking teenage people, you know, with like fucking meek six packs and that. Like, look at this shit. And she's got another boyfriend already called Corey. So, she's playing off her hometown boys and the Livingston boys. She's like different area codes, you know. And Damon's like, oh, that's fucked. That is fucked. Okay. So, he decides to, like, gather info. He keeps logging into her Facebook and collecting screenshots and that. And it must be around end of summertime, right? So, his plan is that he's going to gather all this evidence and he's going to dump it one day and show everybody who she is. He's going to inform all these guys she's talking to all at once. But he has another brainwave. Because he's a smart guy. He's fucking fiendishly cunning. Like, he makes a fake Facebook profile with some stock images of Google of hot emo boys. You know the type, right? And he names it Travis Sutherland. It's still on Facebook. Give me a second. So here's the proof. And he starts to chat her up. Like he's interested. And they have a talk. Cancel request. I think he unfriended me because me and Damon had a fallout, right? I couldn't tell you what it was about, to be honest. The last time we spoke was already heated, like we'd already fallen out before, but nothing really happened. There was just a lot of distance and time. So, like, bad blood. Happy birthday, man. She was a filthy. Right, so there's Kieran. Kieran Lewis is a big part of this story. Get back to the story, okay? Some screenshots. So he dumps them all on Christmas. Like one of those days of the year that should be happy, right? It's also her fucking birthday. So she's opening her presents in the morning. And he drops all these chat logs with random folk that she's playing off. Which is fucking mental. Our parents see it immediately. I'm still friends with our dad on Facebook. Me and him like shit all the time. Sorry, Billy. Billy Brush and Liz Combe. Brush and Combe. They got the tattoos on their foot. Fucking awesome pair, by the way. This is all childhood stuff, eh? So, like, people get over it. So that's horrible. So he chatted her up for fucking 4 months. Something like that. She didn't ken. He even arranged to meet her in Edinburgh at the train station through Facebook on the fake. And he showed up to see if she would be there. Obviously he didn't show himself because like she was expecting somebody else, but fuck me, right? That boy. And then so this has all happened. I've not spoke to the girl, right? We're no contact. We're out in the car one day. We've got Mike driving. So Mike's a bit older than us. We're all the same age. There's 3 of us, 1 of him. I'm in the front, 2 are in the back. Mike's driving. We're playing the game left or right. So we do this sometimes. We would drive about. The back seat gets the call left or right. They decide where we go. 1 turn at a time. So they take us to Bo'ness. And by the time I'm at Bo'ness, like getting up to Bo'ness, I'm like, fuck, this is where she lives. There's no point in being in Bo'ness. These are the types of dudes that are here for a reason. They've got he's got a plan in the back of his head, right? So unbeknownst to me, he's got her on Facebook. He's tracking her location. She's in Falkirk, not Bo'ness. So he starts making different turns. I think we're a bit safe. We turn up at the mall in Falkirk. And who's there? He walks us right up to her. The first time me and my ex have seen each other after all this shit's went down. And she looks at me and she goes, why the fuck are you here? Like, why are you mortifying me? It's that look. It's like, why the fuck would you be here? Why the fuck would you be here? And this is like, I refused to go in the mall. Like, they told me she was at the mall when we got there. And I says, I'm not going in there. I'm staying at this bus station. But So we'd split up as a group. I'm on my own. I'm hiding, essentially. I am hiding. I'm not up for this game. Yeah, I'm the one that bumps into her. It's just fucking awkward, man. Yeah, so, wow. Another story about this girl, okay? This is another confession. So, I lost my virginity in a tent. I invited her out camping so I could, you know, have some privacy. Because doing anything in my house with my mum around was forbidden. It was not good. But my mum and her used to text horrible things to each other. My mum used to shout at, like, not shout at me, but she was, what? Who does she think she is texting me like that? And I'm like, why are you fucking talking to my girlfriend? Why are you arguing with my girlfriend? Like, fucking, what is going on? So they had their own beef, and she was never allowed around the house because my mum didn't like her. So my mum didn't like my girlfriend. And I really wanted to pump this girl and lose my virginity. So the one night our parents were out, I wanted to go around, but I needed a lift. I'm only 16. I didn't have money. Or I needed bus fare or something. My mum was saying, no. You need your independence. And I'm like, why today? Why today? I'm gonna fucking shag mum. I couldn't say it, right? And I was so adamant. I was pushing so hard that I needed this bus fare. And my mum was just on principle saying, no, I've given you too much to see this girl and I don't like her and I don't want you there and you're certainly not staying overnight. So she brought my dad to the house. Now my mum and dad have like been broke up for years. My dad was never involved in the child rearing. In fact, far from it. So she would bring him in whenever she needed like some extra help. And I'm like so embarrassed that it's about sex, right? That I'm not saying it, but I start to grate in front of my mum and dad that day. I'm like, oh. Right, so pushing forward, we arranged to get into the tent, right? And I'm lying to my mum, like, I'm staying at a mate's house and all that stuff, because she'll not have me in a tent with this lassie. I can be in a tent with my pals. Got condoms and all that stuff. Right, so we're in the tent. And it's dark outside, and there's a torch on inside. So we get there, and it's sort of night time. And we start getting a bit handsy. Now, I've never taken off her clothes. To this day, I've never seen her tits. I've never seen her boobs. She used to hide them with this wee shitty rag hang that was like for her childhood. She'd bring it everywhere. It was all threaded to bits. And she says, get out the tent. Get out the tent. Just as we're getting handsy. And I'm like, what the fuck? I want to pump her, right? This is the goal. And so I get out of the tent like a cuck. And I'm meandering about a couple meters from the tent. I can see everything that's going on inside there, right? It's bright as daylight. What does she start doing? She goes into her bag, right? And she pulls out a razor. She starts shaving her legs. Bro, in the tent. When I'm right there, as if... I don't give a fuck, mate. I just want to shag you. I don't care about your hairy legs, right? But girls be girls, right? They got their own insecurities and stuff like that. And she finishes up shaving, and I see her like wipe the hairs away to the corners of the tents as if I can't see them, and she puts shit over it and that. She's like, right, come in. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. Long story short, I came in about 30 seconds. And I came into the condom. We had sex twice more. It lasted a bit longer, but not much longer. She said I was okay. She didn't expect much, which was a bit of a downer for her to say that, to be honest. But she said it was alright. And then she wanted to keep the condoms. I fucked them out the tent, right? I'd thrown them away, like, fuck that shit, that's litter now. Tied them up and threw them away. She's like, no, let me put them in my bag. And I'm like, the fuck? What, girl? You want to keep the used condoms? This wasn't about litter, right? Because this lassie had thrown cola cans all over the place. Bottles of Iron Brews. Sausage roll packets. They're all straying about the forest, and she wants to keep the fucking condoms. Bro. No fucking way. No fucking way. She put them in her bag. I agreed to it 'cause, again, I was a fucking cuck. And then I got them out of her bag when she was sleeping. And I just discarded them about. Right, see if you go to that spot to this day, there's still condom wrappers there. Cause it's like plastic, innit? So I've been back to that spot with another girl. And my dirt was still there from the time before. Oh my god. Right, that's enough story for this video. Shit, I've got loads of stuff like that. Right. Like and subscribe for this brutal honesty, okay?